Why do some people love horror and others absolutely hate it? Welcome to The Final Cut, your daily post in horror. I'm Travis with Horror Movies Uncut, back with today's top stories in genre cinema, fan culture, and the wild world of fear. Let's dive in. First up, a new YouGov survey is exposing the great divide in America's relationship with horror movies. And it's more extreme than any other genre. According to the data, only 50% of Americans say they love or like horror films, while a massive 46% admit they dislike or even hate them. That's more than 3 times the hate any other genre receives. Still, horror fans aren't casual. In fact, 43% of those who do enjoy horror say they love it, trailing only action and comedy in terms of die-hard love. So, who loves horror the most? According to the poll, it's men, younger adults, and people with college or without college degrees. And the most popular subgenres, comedic horror and psychological horror, are tied at 60%. Followed by paranormal, vampires and monsters, torture, erotica horror, and gore landed at the bottom. As for when and how we watch, no surprise here, nighttime, with others reign supreme. Nearly half of horror fans prefer watching with company, and 55% say they'd rather do it at home than in a theater. Interestingly, most viewers also believe horror peaked in the 1980s or 90s, with Gen Xers especially loyal to the decade of slashers and synth. My question for you guys is, do you think horror's best years are behind us, or are we living through a new golden age? Look, I got to say something on this. There were great horror films in the 80s, a lot of them. But there were also a lot of great horror films in the 90s, the 60s, the 70s, 2000s. For those who are always stuck on everything has to mimic what was made in the 80s, what are we leaving for the next generation? That they're supposed to just carbon copy that as well? No, I'm a fan, and this is why I started Horror Movies Uncut. Because we want to make sure everyone knows who the next group of amazing filmmakers are. We're not stuck in the past. We give love and affinity to it, but we are always pushing for horror's future right here. Next up, think your love for Terrifier says something about your personality? Well, science agrees. A new study published in Surus suggests that genre preferences, especially horror, are tied to specific personality traits. Based on the Big Five model, researchers found that horror lovers tend to be extroverted, agreeable, conscientious, while scoring lower in neuroticism and openness. This contradicts a lot of assumptions about horror fans being emotionally unstable or antisocial. In fact, the data paints them as outgoing, organized, and calm under pressure. Just go to a film festival. You'll see that in full view. Meanwhile, romance and drama fans leaned higher in neuroticism, and fans of mystery scored high in openness, but lower in agreeableness. While the study only focused on Indian college students aged 20 to 23, it adds some weight to the theory that your film taste reflects your inner world and could even shape future hiring or screening methods. My question for you guys is, if horror fans are calm, social, and organized, what does your favorite genre say about you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments ahead. And finally, ahead of AFM, AMP has launched international sales for The Hatchery, a new survival horror starring Terrifier's Jenna, Kanell. The story: 8 women wake up trapped in a shipping container with no idea how they got there, only to be tossed in the middle of an ocean during a violent storm. But the real twist: one of them isn't entirely human. The film will tackle human trafficking through a horror lens, as the survivors realize they're trapped not just with trauma, but with a biological experiment that's mutating fast. Directed by The Dead's Howard J. Ford and written by Tom Pickett, The Hatchery promises a mix of visceral survivor horror and monster mutation. It's expected to make major waves when it hits the American film market next month. My question for you guys is, are you into ocean-based horror? And will The Hatchery be Deep Blue Sea, The Descent, or something entirely different? Let us know your thoughts in the comments ahead. Today's take. Today's stories prove one thing: horror is personal. It shapes us, scares us, and sometimes defines who we are or who we think we are. Whether we're watching in the dark with friends or locked in a shipping crate at sea, horror taps into something primal. Even when half the country hates it, horror just keeps crawling back. Hey, on that Spotify poll today, which horror subgenre do you prefer? Comedic, psychological, paranormal, monsters, body horror? And if you got a hot take, trailer, or story to share, DM us at HMUNCUT and your tip could land on the show. That's it for Tuesday's episode of The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more scares, and more reasons to keep your lights on. See you then.